As other recent presidencies, the Spanish presidency takes place at a particularly challenging moment in time. There are major policy priorities that are reaching crunch points, but in addition, the wider context within which the presidency takes place is becoming really, really complex. The war in Ukraine is likely to worsen over the next 6 months. Energy security, the green transition will reach crucial points as well. A new strategy on economic security, financial negotiations as well. And of course, these policy developments are taking place against a backdrop of the approaching European elections next year and the end of this legislature at the European level. And added to that, the complexities of Spain now going through its own domestic elections. So all these things mean that the narrative, the storyline for the Spanish presidency will be to try and manage this cluster of crises, but also somehow keep the EU eye on the longer term and the kind of underlying reforms that are needed to address in an effective way all the challenges that are likely to appear on the horizon. The way Spain has built up its diplomacy in recent years means there are a number of opportunities for the Spanish presidency. Since the Russian invasion in Ukraine, we've seen multiple developments across different areas of policy in the EU. The challenge now is to bring some order into these very, very different and contrasting areas of policy developments. Also the challenge in moving from short-term crisis imperatives to the longer term, and related to this, to try and heal or narrow some of the divides that are opening up between France and Germany and Eastern European states, and multiple other divides as well. Spain could be a presidency that plays a role in at least beginning to knit together some of these different levels in EU diplomacy and EU policy developments. In his recommendation entitled "The Spanish Presidency Should Maintain Momentum in EU Enlargement," Frank Schimmelfennig argues that candidate countries such as Ukraine should be put on a fast track to accession negotiations in order to strengthen the credibility of enlargement. In their recommendation, entitled "Reacting to Economic Challenges, Striving for Low-Carbon Industry," Michel Chang and Marco Sidi call for the Spanish presidency to prioritize work to complete the banking union and capital markets union. In their recommendation entitled "New Approaches and Narratives to the Relations between the EU and CELAC," Jakob Hallgren and Ana Ayuso advocate for very different and new approaches and narratives in relations between the EU and Latin American states. To read the recommendations from members of the TEPSA network to the incoming Spanish presidency of the Council of the European Union, check out TEPSA's website.